Hi everybody, it's Cathryn from In the Pink Designs. My project today is mainly showcasing a Salebration paper, which is free with a $50 purchase, called FIIGHT and AIRY. This is really beautiful paper. There's no stamp set that goes with it, but I used last year's Valentine's set, which is still active, Country Bouquet, just for the Happy Valentine's Day, and then this little piece right there. I wanted you to see in the Salebration catalog, this right here is so beautiful. They use the top of the carousel horses and this FIIGHT and AIRY paper to make a birdhouse. So pretty. So if you have the Salebration catalog, look on page 7. Beautiful. Beautiful example of the use of this paper. Alright, so my box today measures 3.5 by 3.5 by 1, and it opens like this. And inside I have a little heart dish. I got this from the Dollar Spot. This one I put with my new Cricut I got for Christmas, Isabel, which is my youngest daughter's name, and I have a Cassie, which is my oldest daughter's name. So you could also put some goodies in this box. If I didn't say, this was from the Target Dollar Spot. I think it was meant actually for a tea bag holder. They have some teapot ones that are about this size, but I thought it would be a perfect little ring holder for my daughters. Alrighty, and this is where I stamped this other feature. I figured I would write a little note to them inside. I'm using the Country Bouquet stamp set that is in the annual catalog. I'm using these new dies. These are the Thoughtful Expression dies, and I'm using the third to largest of these, kind of a scallopy circle there. Alrighty. And I use the Stylish Shapes dies for this and the square. Okay. So what we need for this project is a piece of bubble bath that is 11 by 6.5. 2 pieces, 2 different patterns of the FIIGHT and AIRY DSP that are 3.25 by 3.25. 2 pieces that are 1 3/4 by 3.25. And 4 pieces that are 3/4 by 3.25. We need a piece of basic white for the sentiment here that is 1/2 by 2 3/4. Yes, 2 3/4. We need a square that measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and this is also out of the DSP. Okay, the circle is from the Stylish Shapes dies. It's about 2 1/8. The fancy circle here is about 2.5 by 2 5/8. Okay, alrighty. So this is my host code. Please put that in for any purchases under $150, not including your shipping and tax. Okie dokie. So I'm going to get my Simply Scored, and we're going to start on the 11-inch side. And you need to score at 2, 3, 6.5, and 7.5. Turn it a quarter turn to the 6.5-inch side and score at 1/2, 1.5, 5, and 6. Alright, I'm just going to fold and burnish all of the score lines. Okay, so what we're going to do with this is this. Okay, alright, so we're going to start over here. The skinniest rectangles are on the top and the bottom. This strip here is 2 inches. This strip is 3.5. So we're going to start over here, go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and we're going to take these off. I take off the score line with it. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the rectangle on the bottom and wedge both sides of the square, and when I wedge, I take those score lines off that are on the sides. All right, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the rectangle on the bottom and wedge both sides of that square. All right, now we're going to take these 2 pieces off. All right, now turn it to the other side. Now the 2-inch strip is over here. And we're going to go to the first score line, cut it to the second score line, and take off those 2 pieces. Go to the next score line, cut it to the second score line, take off the bottom rectangle, and wedge the square. Okay, go to the next 2 score lines and cut them to the second score line. Take off the rectangle at the bottom and wedge the square. All right, now we're going to take off these 2 pieces here. All right, and then we need a corner rounder, and we're going to round what's left of the skinniest rectangles right on the edges. Okay, and that is what your cardstock should look like after you're done scoring and cutting. Okay, now you can use tear and tape or Stampin' Seal Plus, but I'm going to just use liquid glue. I'm going to start over here and put it on both tabs, take the score line on the tab, and match it with this inner rectangle. Okay, and then we're going to go to these and match the score line on the top of these tabs to the other side of the same rectangle. Alright, and that is your box. Alright, so now we need our DSP. And the large ones are going to go on the top flap and inside the flap. These ones are going to go on the small flap and inside the small flap. And these 4 are going to go on all the sides. All right, we're going to let that dry a minute, and we're going to do, first we're going to take care of this. Now this was from the Designer Series paper. I just took the die from the Stylish Shapes dies and put it over the image I wanted. I used the same one, but there's a lot of different ones you can use if you want. And I'm going to put this onto the fancy circle with dimensionals. And then I'm going to get some bubble bath ribbon, which is from the sheer ribbon combo pack. And I'm going to tie a bow. If you have a hard time tying it around the piece of DSP, you can just tie a bow and place it over here. And I'm just going to do this. And then we'll just cut off the edges. This one I made a little bit shorter, but that's all right. All right. And then we're going to attach our image right on top with dimensionals again. Okay. All right. Now we're going to take our box. I'm going to put some of the shred that I got at the Dollar Tree. And of course you can put whatever goodies or gifts you want. And I'll put my other daughter's one right in here. And then we need a 3/8 inch adhesive Velcro dot. And I'm going to put one right here. And the other one like that. Just make sure everything is straight. And there we go. All right, unfortunately, I forgot to tell you to stamp right there. So we're going to do the best we can. And again, this is from the Country Bouquet stamp set in the annual catalog. And I'm using Boho Blue Ink. Let me just take this out a minute. A little bit off to the side, but that's okay. Alrighty. And now we need our 1/2 inch by 2 3/4 inch piece of basic white cardstock, and we're going to put the Happy Valentine's Day right on there. Perfect. All right. Okay, so let's close. Oh, that's our good one. So we're going to open this and put our heart back in there. And again, I said I was going to just write a little note in here. If you don't want to do that, you could tie the ribbon all the way around this piece. Or you could stamp another sentiment in the inside or one of the hearts. All right, there's a couple of different hearts on this. All right, now we're going to take dimensionals again and put our entire piece onto the front. And then we're just going to center this all around. Okay, and now for the Happy Valentine's Day. We're going to put it right here. So I'm going to put a dimensional on either side. Maybe a 1/2 of a dimensional. And then a little bit of liquid glue in the middle. And I'm just going to put this, I'm going to have it cover the bottom of the circle, but have a little bit of the pink, the bubble bath circle show underneath. All right. And then for the final touch, I'm going to get some of the blooming pearls, and we'll use the bubble bath ones. Actually, it says they're petal pink, but I think they're good enough for this because they look very similar. All right, so I'm going to use a large pearl right there, and the small one down over there, and another small one over there. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, my email's below, along with the links to my shop and my blog that has all the directions. Alrighty, if you'd like to join my team, there's a special offer this month. You can get up to $155 worth of product for $99 free shipping. So if you were going to be purchasing, it's no obligation. You can just let it run out after 3 months and you will get a 20% discount for those 3 months. Alrighty, have a great day and I will see you next time. Bye.